Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to BeoTalk number 338. Yay.
Yay. That's our jingle for the dingle. Call it.
Yeah. We have to do some shilling and stuff, right? Like,
Mhm.
yeah,
I'm gonna put my babies in the focus a little more here. There we go.
Hope everybody is having a good weekend. But if not, go buy something at Skinny Play and at Tigrino Studio. Use the promo codes for 10% off. As we learned last week, these aluminium covers compared to the custom ones from B&O are ridiculously cheap. Really high quality, as there's one over there. But also use the promo code to get 10% off of those as well. Join our Discord if you haven't yet already. If you're interested in B&O stuff. And yeah, that's about it. Oh yeah, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't yet already. And that's about it.
Nice.
Hope you're having a better weekend than Ferrari did. Because they started off strong. They won the sprint race. So B&O, good job on sponsoring. But then the race last night, they came in 5th and 6th. And now it turns out they're both disqualified.
Oh, shit.
Like one car was underweight and one other car had too much floor damage through, like they were too low compared to the regs. So like the race is no point, 0 point.
Oh no.
So that's bad, but like at least B&O was on the front line of something for a change.
Disaster.
Yeah. Well, both good and bad.
Oh boy. Yeah. Nothing new here on this front. Other than my hands are still itchy from the fucking bed bugs from the hotel I told you about.
Oh, you didn't tell me about the bed bugs?
Yeah. So anyways, after we went off air, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, fucking, what is that? So I Googled it and what the bed bugs look like, right?
Yeah.
And it's a match.
Oh, damn. You have to be careful because you can put those in your own bed if they were still on you.
No, nothing was on me. Nothing was fucking on me. Because once I realized that this is what it was, like everything was, I wash anyways. Like when I get home, everything goes to the washing machine because I just don't trust the hotel. So everything that I bring with me in the backpack, it goes in the fucking washing machine. And the backpack usually stays outside or in the bathtub for a while just to see, if something's crawling out of it or not.
All right.
But call this, man. I've never, like in 44 years that I've lived on this planet and I've been to the hotel, my first recollection of it, I think it was when I was 3 or 4 years old. No, 3 years old. In Karlovy Vary in Czech Republic. Never had issues till fucking Quebec City and past it a little bit. We go in, and I don't know if it was the first or the second, but I think it was the first hotel because it was quite busy, first of all. And second of all, I heard it was itchy on the second day.
So there were French bed bugs.
Well, first I thought it was maybe you go through your head. I'm like, fuck, like, did I do some pre-wire with Max and I didn't,
insulation
you wash
and stuff.
your hands and then I have insulation on my shit and then it rubs into the sleeves of the jacket and then week later you get into it like, fuck, what is that?
Yeah, especially those fiberglass little needle things.
Exactly, the pink cotton candy. But anyway, so that's why all these scenarios go through my head till I finally get home like, what the fuck is this, man? And yeah, so I guess I've seen it almost all. I never say I've seen it all because I've never gotten bed bugs bitten or more or less eaten my hands alive while I was sleeping in a hotel. Disgusting. I'm never doing this shit again. I don't give a fuck how far people live. If it's involving sleeping in a hotel in Quebec, there is no way in hell that I will condone with that.
Yeah, because they're also French. Then they're like, "Ooh la la, très tasty, huh?"
That's right. You get some white redneck meat now. You don't get that often. Probably just siphon off all the Americans because it's very close to the border, I guess. Because it's like a huge snowboard place. So that was a different diet. but colonies. So
That's bad. Like, so do you complain and get your money back, or like?
I don't know which hotel it was, and quite honestly, you know what? It's fucking water under the bridge, man. I've gotten attacked by a dog here. I didn't bother reporting it because I didn't want to fuck up their Christmas. You know, I don't even know which bed, which hotel it was to be blaming. Maybe it was both, anyways, and I just go double hit, and just gross.
So
dude.
so did you match it on
bug.
the bug bites or on the actual bug?
No, on the bug bites. I didn't bring any home, obviously. What am I going to fucking collect them in a jar?
No, but they stay on you for a while.
No, nothing was on me.
Okay, good.
Nothing was on me.
I mean, you
Plus,
said,
I woke up, had a shower in the morning too, right before I left. So
set it to scorch, so like they'll boil out.
fucking hell. Well, I drink a lot, I guess, but not enough for them to not like my blood. So that was that.
Maybe that's why they liked you.
Maybe I should have had bourbon that night instead of the beer. I wouldn't be biting that hard. But yeah, so that was that for install.
That's
outside
awful.
of the city. That was basically the highlight of the week, and then the rest was really nothing. Friday was a really good job actually, and I did take a picture of it, believe it or not. And that's a gentleman. I don't think we have his shit on our intro because it was in between, but it was a theater with the 77-inch screen on the wall. It's gold, and me and Max went in and we put in a pair of gold 18s on the wall and a pair of gold 8s, one on the floor stand and one on the wall for surround. And there's a BeoLab 19 gold with the what's that taupe color fabric or fabric plastic. So
yeah, I guess if you're into that color, that works. It's does the gold on the 18 match like the 19,
yes.
Or is it?
It all matches. I was looking very closely at it. Let me just email you the picture because this would probably do better if I can open what I'm supposed to open. There we go.
Because I mean, the colors on the 18s always look slightly different than the 28s in my experience.
On the 28th, yeah, because it's what's it called? There we go. Send. Because it's machined versus polished, but everything is polished, and the 18, I mean 8s are far enough in the back, and they're against a wall and curtain that you don't really see.
Mm-hmm.
You should have it now. So if you throw it up online,
yeah, I'm refreshing. See if
refreshing.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that's a good looking setup. Let me get this up. Yeah, that's a very good setup.
Right. So the only catastrophe on this shit is the pre-builder plug or pre-us plugs, right? So if you zoom underneath the theater, he wants to actually cap it all, which I completely agree with him.
Yes.
So the middle one on top, the winner, right? You can call it, because they're literally first, second, third place. They're all different.
Standard builder issues.
So yeah, that's
like we sort of eye it up, but we don't remember that we're standing on an angle.
Fuck. So the winner is the conduit that we had to literally like cut off and surgically remove up top before, that's a year ago when we did the panel and, put the theater up. So conduit, complete bypass. We pulled the electricity up, and we did a little thing behind the theater so you can actually get into the wires and plugs and such.
Mm-hmm.
The second, that was their network where it came in. Nonsense. With just coax cable.
Yeah.
Not even Cat 5. And then we basically pulled off the baseboard. Had to cut. It's a double drywall, right? So we cut in and run between the insulation poly and the frickin' and the drywall. We ran the cables to the 18s. I put the 18s on the wall. They're on togglers on double drywall, and they were solid as rock. But you know what? I was thinking about that too. I agree with Mr. Potato that the color match on the wall mounts would look nice. But however, if you actually looking at it from a different angle, when you see the black back of the theater, it does make more sense that way. Because I think the gold wall brackets would hide the effect that the 18s bring up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say those if those wall brackets were standard or not, or if this was a choice.
No, they're now black or silver you can buy.
Oh, I thought they always matched whatever you bought them in, but like it was just a regular part where you can switch around.
No, these are two colors now. It used to be just silver. Remember, it was the
Yeah.
same like the standard Beolab A19 gray.
Yeah, I have the silver ones, but my 18s are silver. so
Yeah, it makes sense. But
Yeah.
for the black ones, if you put silver, for the gold ones, if you put silver, it kind of looks awkward as hell, right? So,
Yeah,
the only visible wire is to the 19, which is that little white plug. And I made sure I actually dug out a white power cord just to make sure, because they always come with the 3 meter freaking black ones, which where you spool that to begin with, anyways.
yeah. If you want to fully fix this and cover this, I would say why don't you like put that plug over here in the other one to the right of it, right? Make an even shorter run.
Yeah, I don't know what it's in. I don't remember what was in that socket, but he's just got some nonsense riddled on his wall that it kind of disturbs the look, but it still looks great. Don't get me wrong; it sounds fucking killer, by the way.
These cover plates, they give me like mental trouble. Because when I bought this house, these cover plates were literally everywhere. And I thought, oh, this must be old runs, or like this makes sense that there was a phone here. No,
it's holes.
Yeah, they use them to cover up holes instead of like put some like new drywall stuff on, right?
Well, it's fucking $7 in Home Depot for a few of them, and few seconds to drill them in. Or you wait there 2-3 days, sanding, painting, blah blah blah, and you got to paint the whole wall. So you just throw in a plate off and run away. Let the other one. That's how it does.
Yeah, God, because I have 2 double cover plates in my bathroom that I still haven't done, and it's right above the power plug or the switches for all the lights and the fan and stuff. So
Yes.
I thought, oh, they just moved it down. I took it off. No, it's just a hole. God damn it!
And sometimes you get a double one, right? Or
No,
the
it's 2
hatch
doubles
plate.
next to each other. They're
fuck.
literally touching. So it's
you
like
can't
it's
see
a
the
double,
gap.
right? And a double.
Right on.
And like even the screws they use, they're like 3 of them are the same, and then there's a fourth one that's different. That's just a regular screw.
Fuck.
And they were all over the house. I have PTSD from these fucking cover plates.
Yeah, they're not good. They're not fun, but we sometimes use them too, and we use them exactly for that reason too. When when clients are moving out, yeah, just put a cover plate on it. That's it. Surprise, motherfucker, when you get home as a new homeowner, and that's it. But that's just the way it goes. As long as it's covered with something, it's legal to sell. All right.
I mean, I'm thinking I pulled at least 18 cover plates off the house that were like not
easy.
covering anything.
That had no function or form.
I mean, and I have several others that are actually covering stuff like connection boxes and stuff like that. But I hate them. I would almost, but maybe that's very personal, right? Like, I don't know, get a sticker printer or something and make like a little trophy thing out here.
Fucking Special Olympics. But yeah, there literally are.
Yeah, just make it a joke.
First, second, third place, man.
Ugh.
Yeah. So that's what it is. The interesting thing was that he's had everything disabled as software updates on the TV. So it was stuck on like 3.20 whatever software, like from 2 years ago, a year ago.
Yeah.
So I updated everything, and the app was still old. So nothing freaking worked really after I did, not even the reset, just started to work with it a little bit. Yeah, so that was a good I would say 20 minutes at least waiting for the bloody setup update for everything. So, but yeah, the Lab 8 looks really good in the back there. See, and it doesn't look that off at all. even though everything is walnut at the front, and we just didn't have the covers. It's a smoked oak on the lab eights.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy was he was happy with the color. Even his wife was like, yeah, actually it matches the floor too. I'm like, you know what? If you like it, you like it. If not, I can always come by and swap it over because we're gonna get those grills anyways. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. I just didn't take the one off the kitchen because imagine it's just behind where the other lab 8 is, and it's just tilted towards the room. But it sounds fantastic. It sounds absolutely fantastic.
I bet. I mean, it it sort of works with a theater better than with like a harmony or something to have, because the 8s are more powerful really than the 18s.
Yes.
To have them as rears, and yeah, I bet that sounds quite good, especially with the 19 where it is.
Oh, dude, that thing just pumps. Though with the 19, I don't know anybody else in the chat, but I recently came across, I would say, last 5 woofers that I've done, the bloody rubber sticky grommets, the feet,
Yeah.
they come off. They stick to the floor instead of the goddamn.
I lost one or two, I think.
So
My
I don't know.
I found it out here that I'm missing one or two of them.
Because it started wobbling if it's not on the carpet. Yeah.
So I got some of that
got
anti-slip felt out and just cut it to the same size and stuck that on.
Yeah, that'll work. And I think those actually stick better, in my opinion, than the B&O rubber things.
Yeah.
Also, they silently changed the rubber pads on the BioLab 8 floor stand. Which makes sense because the first edition flat ones, whoever has those, be conscious of the fact that they will stain whatever floor they're standing on. They stained our showroom floor, and I've seen it in some people's clients' homes too. So the new rubber ones are they're basic donuts with a little hole in the middle, and those are much better. So far, there is no staining, but I've noticed that silent switch of what's going on.
If you have those and you don't feel like messing around with it a lot, get some kitchen paper, like paper towel for the kitchen or something, and just cut out a little circle and stick that under the rubber.
Yeah.
I mean, that way, if it quote-unquote stains, right, it stains into the paper, not into your floor.
Yeah, it needs to be separated from the floor so it doesn't react. I don't know what the heck it is in that rubber or about that rubber, but...
it's probably oils from the manufacturing, right? Like it leaches.
Most likely.
I mean, they also silently changed at some point. This is years ago now, but the feet of the 18s, because your 18 feet are different than my 18 feet.
Yeah, my generation is adjustable.
Yeah, mine isn't. So if my floor is uneven, my 18 is just like wonky. I can't do anything about it.
Well, put more pads on one side of it or whatever. That's the only choice you got. Fucking coasters. You know what I mean? It sucks. Or beer coasters, I guess, whatever they're called.
Yeah, fortunately, the floor here is quite straight, so it's fine.
Steve says some home pots also stain the surface they stand on. Yeah, I kind of, not that I have a fear of it, but I know for a fact that Beosound 2 does not, or Beosound 1 does not. That rubber is solid. It's not doing anything because I've had it sit on my counter for since 2016. Well, I guess for 6 years it was on the counter in my bathroom. Never left the ring.
Yeah, but the rubber on the 1 is kind of hard, right? Yes, it's rubber and it has a little give, but the newer rubber is a lot softer. And I think they put like more, what is it called, like elastomere or elasticizer in that rubber, and that's probably what leaches out.
Yeah, it's definitely detrimental to the floor. So, be careful of y'all on that.
Unless you don't care about your floor or ever moving them, then it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, the 50s have rubber under them, but they don't. I don't feel like they dampen all that much.
No, I don't think that rubber is there to dampen stuff. I think that rubber is just there so you don't mess up the bottom aluminium of it,
Yeah, because you
and so
can
they don't dance on the floor or slide.
because you can definitely feel the vibrations in the floor, even like here where I like a slab
Yeah.
on grade.
Yeah, the 90s don't transfer nothing into the floor that I find, there's only three very sharp points that they stand on. And
But they're also
yeah,
on a what is it, almost an inch of rubber.
yeah, they got a lot of rubber on them.
I mean, I'm almost thinking of making stands for my 50s with like so that they're off the ground with like a suspension, like that sort of non-slip felt or something like that, so I don't transfer so much energy into my floor.
Why don't you get one of those bass, whatever they call them? There's for the speakers that you put the speakers on. They're made for that essentially. I don't know if you can get the round ones. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I still have the bottom clamshell thing, right? From
Oh, so you can measure out
yeah,
without damaging shit. That's perfect. That's a good score. But
because
yeah,
where my left front 50 is, behind there is the air return, or the primary air return. The secondary is in the hall here. But every time you swoop anything or do the whooping, like there's so much energy in that ball, like it starts to like clatter and stuff.
exactly.
And I have a feeling that can't be all air pressure. That's probably also just like because it's only about that far from the stud behind, right?
Hmm.
That's probably also.
Speaking of speaker, this is completely off tangent and off different realm of topic, I guess. But on Thursday, yeah, it was Thursday. Me and Etienne, we reinstalled a KEF. Is it 107 reference series?
I don't know, could be.
We had the drivers refoamed because it just rotted out. It's a speaker from the 90s, and I'm sure that some junkies here in our chat are know exactly before the picture even comes out. No, is it 701? No, it's 107, I believe. Guess
The
107 reference. That's it. In black. Don't they remind you of a 90 a little bit? Where it all started?
My first thought went to cubed fives.
Yeah. Fair enough, too. But yeah, these things, not heavy, but the heads actually swivel. There's what the heck is it called? XLR connection to
Yeah.
the back of it. That's exactly the ones that we reinstalled, the black ones. Not in that messy order, but he's getting another like Meble and whatever there to put in all the shit. And as we put it together, like we've tested it in the shop, blah blah blah. One of the RCA channel outs from the KEF Cube, right? Because it's got its own special deal equalizer thing, died as he was plugging, and I think it was his stupid fucking monster RCA cables. They were so tight, like when you just and it's like, bro, why? There's no need for this to be this tight. It's just that, like, switch a cable before you break this shit off the board. But yeah, look at the cross section. There's a picture of it in the corner, top left.
Top left. Oh, they're meant to have covers on them.
Yeah. They're definitely different looking when they're covered because you don't see the heads being pointing. But you can have a sweet spot. You can have a sweet spot on them. Oh man, that's a shiitake mushrooms for a picture. There we go. But yeah, so there's two speakers. There's a huge rod that goes between the drivers and the magnets in between, and you actually tighten them into this wood play. It was pretty neat to take it apart and put it back together and listen to it. We listened to some Def Punk on this shit. It was pretty good. I approve.
At least it's unique.
It's a very unique speaker. I've never seen anything like it. But this is back from the days when they've done some collabs with Bang & Olufsen regarding speaker development and acoustics and such. Because KEF was involved in the 90s with B&O quite a bit. And maybe that's a result in something that, a couple beers after a Friday work with engineers, and maybe that has spawned the idea of this ever.
Yeah, you both learned some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. They
So that was
sort of are weird box, but kind of not really.
it's definitely the most unique, third-party speaker that I had installed, because I don't care for the electrostats. I don't care for the regular whatevers, right? And
I
to me, Bowers
love
and
how
Wilkins,
electrostats sound, but they're so problematic in a room.
yes.
Like electrostats to me are like meant for headphones because at that point you don't care what goes that way, right?
Hmm.
And just, I mean, electrostats can sound good, but you always have to like baffle them. Otherwise, you're going to get reflections like crazy, just due to the sheer nature of how it works.
Not for me.
I mean, I even like the sort of idea that you can see through them and that sort of thing, but
What is it? Martin Logan? Is those the ones that are electrostats?
as well, yeah.
I
They're
think so. That's the
known.
ones that I remember, because they were always like, that's the ones that K&W sold in Calgary. They still do. But to me, it's just like these Venetian curtains. Like, I just don't really,
I mean, the ones I showed from
cool.
that audio show were like,
Mhm.
God, they were like 2 meters 20 tall or something. They were enormous.
Oh yeah, no. They get stupid. But also, like, I guess to the argument of then, since we're talking nerd, that the bass can never respond as fast as the bloody electrostatic speakers are. So there's always a little bit of a lag between that, the bottom end and top end.
Well, with the Martin Logans, yes, but the ones I showed, like one whole pillar was just bass, and it was an electrostat bass. I mean, it was just like, it was literally like this wide, right?
Oh fuck.
Let me see.
Yeah, but that's no longer bedroom or living room friendly. Like, the bedroom is completely out of the question, but living room friendly, right? You can't just occupy an entire living space with a speaker system. Well, I guess you can if you're a nerd like that, but I don't do that. But then who am I to say? Like, I got the biggest speakers that B&O makes sitting behind me. But that's fucking ridiculous, man. Come on. That's too much.
So this is bass, mids, and highs, right?
Call this.
And like it's sort of a 4-way electrostat. But it's ridiculously tall. Like it would be, I don't know. I'm not even sure I can fit them in under my ceiling height. That's how tall they were.
Fuck.
I mean, and
They look like they're at least 12 feet, man. Like, if you look at the amps look like, like it's like the stick-on Lego tiles and shit. Like, it's just really small compared to the speakers.
Yeah, I think my head, I didn't get that close to them, but I think my head is somewhere around here, and I'm like 193. So this is what, like 220 or something in centimeters?
Is it with or without the slippers?
I mean, it sounded good. The bass was in the like 50s and 90s definitely have more bass than this system, but it was so ridiculously quick. Like the bass was almost either on or off, right? And there was no roll off. It was just like
done. Yeah.
It's like it's really strange to hear bass like that. It's in a good way, but also sort of like you're almost conditioned to want to hear roll off. But this system, God, it was like $1 million, $1.5 million or something like that. It's, to me, not worth it, right? I mean,
plus you have to have all that nonsense between it.
Yeah, so was it per pillar you had like 40 grand of amps or something?
Oh my lord.
And then like this enormous, what is it, power conditioner or something? And then obviously the cables, and these cables were like over an inch thick.
See, I wish that B&O had realized that when they did release the 90s and go out with the price that it is right now. Because if you put this nonsense together, then it's way more money than the 90s would be. Even if it's still a better deal, even if they're at $250,000 or $200,000 Canadian.
Yeah, I mean, they could have started at 100 grand euro at 90s, and everybody would have been fine with that. And also, then the increase wouldn't have been 100% in like a decade.
Don't give me no ideas. Well, but you know what? Then it wouldn't have hurt every freaking, buy annually, literally,
That's
or
the thing
try
I
annually now.
object to most, right? It's
We're coming out with new colors and more price.
we're being conditioned to the point that if you do not buy it at lunch, faults and all, that you will not be able to afford it in like a few months' time.
You must pay for the research and development after to fix it.
Yeah, you're still hoping that they'll actually get something to work properly, right? And what, for the theater, it took, 18 months? Like, to get most of the bugs out?
Took a while.
Yeah.
Well, look how far ahead or along the 28s are since they came out, and it's been years. And finally, it's the 4.3.130 software on the Mozart platform finally works properly.
Yeah, it's... I mean, if stuff is half-baked, wait a bit longer, charge more from the get-go. And then don't do these weird price increases.
We've said that so many times, too.
I mean, I'd be even okay if they said, like, the first 6 months special price, right? Launch price or whatever, and then regular MSRP. And that stays the way it is for, 2-3 years. But this, like, we need to be more exclusivity in what we already sold for 20% less, like last year or the year before. It's so stupid.
Where is this? Oh, there we go. I got another. Let me just dig on this for a little bit.
Yeah. Sandeep says, speaking of which, both of my theaters lost app control this week. Number one still worked. I had a weird issue with my theater as well, where one of my cats decided that my number 4 my button had to be something else.
Oh, no.
And I tried to change it back, and I just couldn't. The app wouldn't let me. Hold it down, right? Nothing happened. It would just turn it on.
Really?
I updated the software to the theater, and then it worked again. It was fine. It's like... it's so annoying. So yeah, I feel your pain. Fortunately, I haven't had to power cycle or restart or factory reset, because like in my setup, because I have so many speakers, it takes for fucking ever. And it's not fun. I mean, I'm to the point where, like, I now, especially on the theater, right? Like, I'm aversive to software updates, especially if they say they improve anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, you guys do it. Tell me if it fucks something up. Because I just don't want to spend. Well, in my case, it's going to be 3 hours at minimum to set everything up the way I left it. If I need to like factory reset everything after like software update, and it's just not worth it.
Mm-hmm. I have a little bit of an interesting document here.
The only thing I wonder if I should delete my theater and add it back in, if that'll fix the image retrieval.
I don't believe that. Maybe now with the software update, yes, because I've had a few people actually before that software update came out that they couldn't do it, but I haven't been able to check if it's possible or not. Where is this?
I mean, I can check right now because I think I did check it, but I'm just stuck on silver and oak, regardless of what color I choose. Like, even if I choose black and cloth, right, it'll just show me silver and oak. It doesn't matter what color I put in.
Okay, I sent you a very interesting document that came out basically in February 2025 regarding the
Yeah.
Multiroom.
So, as you can see,
Yeah, you're still hooped.
yeah,
Well, do what Sandeep says. Delete the app, re-add the app, delete existing theaters, re-add the theaters.
but to the point where, like, if I go to product color, if I go the bottom one, which is like black and cloth, nothing,
Yeah.
it's still silver and oak. It doesn't matter. You see it reload the picture, right? But
Yeah, it flashes it, but it keeps the same.
it's like, how can this still be an issue? Like, we've addressed this even in person with the people that are on about this, what, like nearly a year ago now?
Yeah, creeping onto it.
It's like, and I know I'm not the only one, which is what they always say, right? Like, oh, I never heard about this. And then it turns out, oh, there's like 20 other people that have this issue. Like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, this is my first time we're hearing about it. I don't believe anymore. I haven't believed it in a long time because there's no way. Like, if we have a problem in Quebec Sound, I'm sure there's people around somewhere, even on our continent, that have issues with it. Be it Vancouver, be it Boston, be it New York, be it Florida, be it whoever else, wherever. I can't remember all the stores, but I'm sure that they have weird shit going on in there too. I emailed you a document that was
Yes.
published, like I said, February 2nd or February 2025.
BeoLink multi-room status and limitations, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's already amended because it's version 1.01.
Is it amended?
Well, it's version 1.01, right?
Well, but that's the only one I got.
Yeah, no, I understand, but if it's not amended, surely it would
resaved
just be version 1.0.
I guess. So there you go. But this is essentially why we're suffering in our shop. It doesn't matter what network, I guess, we go with, which I don't buy it still, because. But then again, it's how BNO works now, not before.
Okay, that's large multi-room systems.
There we go.
There are several challenges in large multi-room systems. Solid clock synchronization across all products, sufficient throughput of distributing products, and general network performance are among the top challenges.
If the clock is out of sync between the products, the audio stream will not be in sync on for multi-room followers, drop out intermittently, or perhaps will not even play. In practice, a single product with poor Wi-Fi reception can ruin the experience for the remaining products, depending on which product is selected as a clock master. Where do you select a clock master?
I think it's
This is like some Matrix nonsense already.
No.
Keymaster, Clockmaster. So what? The theater, like, because
I think what they mean, right? Like, because these people are the people that do the technical bit, but they're not the users or the marketing people. So what they mean is the lead product.
That's what I'm understanding it also as a, in speaking in nerd, right? That's just what it is. The product capacity is affected by the connection method, how many followers it should play to, the network equipment, and to a degree what platform the leader is based on. Our internal tests conclude that we today support a total of 24 Bang & Olufsen products on the network, of which maximum of 8 products are connected wirelessly. And then you have the examples, wired leader. If you have your wired leader and you can have up to 23. So I will never see that in my house because I don't have enough.
If you are after the very high net worth individuals, right? Like, I can easily see how you get to that.
Of course.
Especially in this country, if you have the 10,000 square foot homes, right?
But then I think what you must do at that point is run the, let's say, Beolab 8s on the theater and 28s on the theater through the digital power link, through their own hotspot. Therefore, they're not on the actual existing network because they disappear completely. They just become an interface and they're connected separately to whatever the IP the theater throws at them from their own Wi-Fi hotspot, because it does its own password and all this shit, right? Like the things go orange and back white when they rejoin to the theater. So there is something that goes on differently.
Yeah, so in other words, you can't buy too many Beosound products. You're better off zoning your house with a core and like Celestials or something.
If you're going to do a lot of it, yeah. So anyways, these 24 products can play together in one large group, provided that the source leader is a wired ASE2 or a wired Mozart platform based product. The 24 products can also be split into multiple groups, example, 2 groups with 12 products each. If using Wi-Fi only Bang & Olufsen products, we support up to 8 products, 1 leader, up to 7 followers. So from what I'm understanding, it excludes the halos in the house.
That sounds like it. But if you walk into your garage, whatever, you turn your Beosound 2 on, then you can maximally do 7 other products.
Yes. Please note that the speaker connected as a secondary speaker through digital power link, example, in a Beolink stereo setup, do not count in the above equation, like I was saying. However, have in mind that multiple sets of wireless stereo pairs can potentially interfere with your home network, because now you're having too many freaking 5G connections blasting around for the rest of it.
Yeah. Network capacity in the multi-room. Multi-room audio in large systems is demanding task for network and requires quality equipment throughout the entire chain of components, routers, switches, access points, etc. Mesh systems and wireless network extenders should not be used. Instead, use thoughtfully placed wired access points. Huh. Well, there you have it. If you have a mesh network system, they outright say don't use it, which is a first.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Disclaimer, even when following the above mentioned recommendations, external factors are out of your and our control may influence the setup, especially something like wireless interference is difficult to combat and can have negative impact on performance. As mentioned on the previous page, Beolink stereo pairs connected wirelessly will also limit the number of available Wi-Fi channels.
Yeah.
So at this point, they're essentially saying if you, I don't know, have 20 rooms and everywhere you can put some 8s and you have, I don't know, 16 8s, right? It is 8 pairs. You're better off wiring them to a core because then you only have 4 cores.
Well, but you could still wire the DPL from the theater, right? You could still hardwire your 8s.
Yeah.
Because you can daisy chain, front ones and rear ones.
Yeah,
so
but
it still. But now that's fucking disaster. Depends on how your wiring is, if it's even considered at the time being, right? Like, this is what it is. So features. A Beolink multi-room system supports different sources such as Bang & Olufsen Radio, Tidal, Spotify, Connect, and Deezer. Dynamic grouping. Expand music from one product to X number of other products through the Bang & Olufsen app. Join an ongoing experience with the touch of a button on the product using a BeoRemote 1 or Halo. Control volume per product or a group through the Bang & Olufsen app. Multiple groups can exist simultaneously. You can have one group of product playing Tidal and a second group of products playing Bang & Olufsen Radio in the home. System standby from the remotes and Bang & Olufsen app. To use static groups, add a BeoLiving intelligence. When creating static group, a design leader is selected and all of the other members of the group will automatically join to it as soon as the leader switches on. Adjusting the volume on the leader product will also adjust the volume accordingly on the other members of the group, which I have not tried yet, but I'm very keen on doing that because, it's the curiosity more or less that kills the cat. So I'm gonna do that with let's say the Beosound 1, and I'll have the theater, or I'll have everything else other than the theater, because that just kind of ruins the whole experience. Because Beosound 1 is like, what the fuck, right? How to hide unused products from the Bang & Olufsen app. This is normal, I guess. I don't know. Not
Yeah.
many people know, I guess. In a large multi-room system, you may wish to hide products that are not directly controlled. Example, a file or a static group controlled by BeoLiving Intelligence for a simpler user interface in the Bang & Olufsen app. However, this is not written there, but however, it doesn't hide them from the bloody AirPlay menu.
Yeah, it would be nice to just be able to turn that off.
Mm-hmm.
I
So,
mean,
and I think this is the last page. Yeah.
it would be nice to turn AirPlay off regardless if you don't have an Apple phone or I don't
Well,
know.
there is an option in the setup in the app, right, to turn off the AirPlay, but it still doesn't fix the AirPlay problem because it doesn't turn it off. Like, it doesn't disappear from the AirPlay menu in the phone.
These I haven't even read it, and this stands out to me already. Like that, your 2.4 and 5 gigahertz network should be set to 20 megahertz bandwidth, and if you have instability, set your wireless network link delay to 2 seconds at 2,000 milliseconds. Like that's high. Holy hell!
That's a lot, man.
Yeah.
So anyways, here are some tips to improving the setup. Wireless protocols like Wi-Fi, wireless power link, and digital power link can a certain degree coexist, but having too many radios close to each other or too close to each other can degrade the system performance significantly. Use cables for connecting to the internet for speaker connection wherever is possible, and thereby limiting the number of wireless clients. Also have statement on page 3 in mind. We today support a total of 24 Bang & Olufsen products on the network, which of maximum is 8 products connected wirelessly. And this is also what we struggle with right now in the shop, because like as per the whatever the boutique we are as the highest tier, they kind of want you to have everything functional. Well, now it's clear that it can't function all of it, so we're going to have some products that are just basically static, right? Like, you can have all the colors of the Lab 8s. Not all of them have to be turned on, for God's sakes, right? And stereo paired and all that nonsense. Like, you can have one pair. Here's a stereo pair. Here's a stereo pair 28s. And then, you have a theater with all that nonsense with it too. But it kind of limits you what not limits you, but this limits what you have in showroom in your disposal that you can't turn on and off.
Yeah. So, but this also essentially is telling you that even more so in a showroom environment, but one should opt for wiring 50s and or 90s with any TV, regardless.
Oh,
100%. Right? Just because it apparently overlaps too much, potentially.
Oh, dude, if you got 50s or 90s money, you have fucking cable money.
No, I understand, but like in a shop, right, where like you have to switch stuff around, you don't have plugs here, there, and everywhere. Especially in older buildings, right?
Yeah, but now with the new display, like, most of the stuff on the walls is hardwired. The only thing I didn't hardwire was the atelier theater, right? Because it's like, are we going to be using it or not? Like, you can just use the panel to run the nonsense and don't put hours on the theater when it's not supposed. Like, you're not going to really demo it there, because in my opinion it's too high, and then you have a BeoLab 8 right in front of the mid-range, the center speakers, so it's not it.
Because, in a shop environment you can easily get to 24 products on the network.
Dude, that's what we're talking with Kareem. Like, we're struggling to bring him down to 20, for God's sakes.
I mean, only maximally 8 can be wireless. So
we have 2 harmonies, right? We have 2 harmonies, because we have an 87 and a 65. So we go from the Poquito all the way to balls to the wall. Mm-hmm. And then we have 3 stages. Only one is plugged in, because then all one is just for a color show. But then, for traffic also, like, do the TVs count as obviously they have to count on the network as traffic.
Yes. Maybe
not in the B&O's environment as counted for 24 products, but they still, if you're streaming Netflix into 4 TVs, like, that also loads up the tits out of the network.
Yeah, I would probably say that if you're a store or a home,
and we run everything off a USB. Nothing is really filling through the network.
But if I was more gonna say if your Switch or Ubiquiti, if you have this many products in your home and let's say your Ubiquiti Dream Machine is like mine, which is the gigabit version, right? Like that's on the edge of it with this many products.
Yeah.
Like you need the Dream Machine Pro or the what is it? I think there's a new one now with like the 10 gigabit ports that at least your internal in-home network has more bandwidth.
And can manage, yeah.
I mean, also use the AP was it Pros or the ones that can handle like at least 300 clients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's
because nowadays with everything smart, like every bulb has a has a network presence.
everything is there, man. So anyway, if a store setup needs to consist of more products, consider dividing the network using VLANs, which that's what I was thinking, but I think it's gonna create more problems in the shop. Consider if all products in the store need multi-room functionality. If they're preliminary used as power link or wireless power link speakers, disabling BeoLink multi-room on each speaker product, Mozart only, will offload the network to a degree, but you may want to consider creating a separate VLAN and an SSID for these. So interesting. Divide devices into different isolated VLANs in suggested groups as below. VLAN 1, smart home devices, security door locks, security cameras, and Living Intelligence. And VLAN 2, Bang & Olufsen devices and that are needed for demo purposes.
Yeah, no wonder this shit didn't work for you guys on the Aero routers.
Well, that's your answer, and I've been saying that for a while. But it wasn't just the fact that we're at the max with the BeoLink. I think that the mesh, I don't know if how that Aero works when you hardwire all of it. Is it still a mesh or is it still is it just acting as an access point? Because the center, the master Aero, right?
Yeah.
It goes internet in and then internet out to the rest of it, or it goes to the switch and then we break out from there. So I still don't like that Aero nonsense, because I think that it's an Amazon's product first of all, and I think they mine too much data in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also pretty sure that it just like it's fine for regular home use, right? For like your average home user, but it's like I mean, a theater is 2 network IDs, right? Like it's the TV and the theater.
Yes.
And then potentially whatever else you attach to it.
Yeah.
DJ Neo asks, can the BLI then work on multiple VLANs, or is the BLI not connected to the B&O products?
That's a good question. But obviously, if they're saying that you can do it that way, that it should be seeing it.
Yeah.
That's more of up your alley, because I'm not good with this VLAN. I'm gonna give me another soda.
I'm just thinking. I'm not the Ubiquiti setup person yet, but I'm dabbling in it. But I wonder if you isolate your VLANs, if one could even see the other without going to a different VLAN.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the whole purpose of isolating them, right?
Well, yeah, that's what I would be thinking. So I don't know how that cookie will crumble, but it's definitely works. At least we're gonna give that a shot. I still don't understand. Well, I know why, but we should move into a Ubiquiti network in the store. But that's a battle that I had given up fighting, because it's been 2.5 years of trying to convince them, and it's not happening. So let it be the era and let the suffering continue, I guess. And at least now that we know the limitation of what we have, that's it's going to be a major shaving stuff off.
But is it because the Ubiquiti comes free or something, or what?
I don't know, man. I honestly don't know what the fear is. If it's the budgetary issues at this point, which I probably suspect it would be, or which I don't understand for the reason of that either. Or is it, in my opinion, the fear of change? Because if it works well, then the guys are going to push it to sell it, and the guys that we need proper training on it too. Because I know Ubiquiti, but given it what it is now to what it used to be, it's changed so much, right? Because you have cloud services and all this shit. Like back where I come from, it's still you download the client on the desktop and you set it all up from there, right?
Yeah, because I mean, a Dream Machine Pro is only $380 or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what it is Canadian, but and then with a U7 Pro Max or U7 Pro, you can have everything on Wi-Fi and it'll chug, and the range is enormous. I mean,
You don't gotta sell me on it, man. I know how these work. I've used them for years and years. They're outstanding equipment. Hence why B&O is now recommending it after how many years of us begging to change.
I mean, I have the. I'm thinking. I have the U6 Pro because at the time I was thinking of the enterprise one, but I was thinking like I'm never gonna get over 350 clients. Like, no way.
No, there's no way you will.
But like that thing is in a closet on the ceiling, like, so it's surrounded by walls, right? And it covers more than my entire house. Like, yes,
well, the wood doesn't really matter to it.
I mean, if I sit outside or walk to the back end of the pool, yes, I drop a bar, but it's then going through like 3 internal walls plus a concrete wall plus like this sort of Faraday cage to keep the bugs out. And I mean, I still get like 200 down and 160 up or something.
Well, decent enough that you don't notice anything dropping.
Oh, no, 4K streaming is no problem.
So,
like, it's more than Netflix recommends, like 8 times as much. So, like, I don't understand. It's not actually that expensive to go to Ubiquiti for this.
No, it's not. And I don't know, like, obviously, like, if they want to do the cloud key, that, I think one of those that I have, the portable ones, would be the best, because then you can have that. I personally think that the best would be to have actual cloud set up, because then it's independent to who has the cloud key as the gatekeeper to set up the networks, right? Because then, I can do it, Jen can do it, Michelle can do it, and without having any issues. But yeah, I just like for the bigger installs, definitely, and even for the small ones, I even if you put one of those egg Wi-Fi Dream machines, it's more than enough for a house or an apartment versus what the standard nonsense comes with it.
Yeah. If I ever feel like splurging, I would buy one of these Dream walls. Where like the whole thing is like double redundant power supply. It's enormous. And you just hang it on the wall.
That's sick.
It's everything in one. I mean, it's quite big.
How much is it?
Like $1,000, $1,000.
Loritz, just don't buy it. Why not, Loritz?
I mean,
it is cool.
There's no size reference, right, on these pictures, but so it's quite large. It's
well, here you can see that's freaking quite a bit.
I mean, it's like 30 by 60 centimeters by like 9 centimeters.
So what's inside it? Is there a switch as well?
Oh yeah, and power over Ethernet. Here, deployment. So you can do everything off of it. You can do all your cameras. There's several power over Ethernet, like 8, I think, are power over Ethernet Plus or something. And then there's 8 more. So there's 17 gigabit Ethernet connections, 4 PoE Plus, 4 PoE, and 1 SFP.
Fucking hell.
I mean, where was it?
1,500 square feet coverage, damn.
I think their coverage size is underrated. So like these are all the gigabit Ethernet outs, right? Like it's a shit ton of them. I mean, I think the U6 Pro is rated at 1,500 square foot or something, and I just decided like it's good enough for now, whatever. The only room it's slightly iffy is the one I'm in right now, but also because Like my microwave and fridge and everything is like literally
Oh
behind this
yeah.
closet.
So yeah, that kills that.
So I have like a full closet with like a bunch of computer parts and metal racks in it, and then behind there is like a bunch of plates and cabinets and fridge and whatever,
Fuck.
and that is line of sight. But I still get like was it on my older computer here? I still get like 180 down and 120 up or something.
Yeah, but you're hardwired for the podcast anyway,
No,
so you don't.
no, not anymore.
No,
I was
it's
in the
Wi-Fi?
other. I was in the
Wow.
other room.
Hmm.
Like this is one of the few rooms that has like literally almost no connectivity. Like there's almost no power in this room either.
So what this room used to be, like a storage basically, or some shit?
Some bedroom.
I guess back in the days you didn't have a need for charging your phone every night.
Yeah, there's one outlet here, there's one outlet there, and that's it.
You read your book at night, you plan your route on a 7-Eleven map,
there's one over there, but I made that one.
Oh.
Like I tapped it from the wall outlet for the closet light.
Oh, okay. Like.
I mean, that was a thing, because then
So yeah, but
you have to go round 90 degrees, right? But there's studs. So I kind of missed the first try, and I went into the other room.
Oh, oops. I hope you didn't paint it before that.
No.
Oh, fudge. So, but where do you mount this? You can't just put the central to your home where the Wi-Fi is the best. But I guess it's got PoE, so you just run access points all over the place.
Yeah. You only need one more, right? And then you have a 3,000 square foot coverage? Like easily? I mean, if you do one of the long range ones, you can get even more.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, my whole house runs off a U6 Pro, right? Like everywhere. Like I can stand out here outside and I still have Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm. You only have one access point?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you need, really.
I mean, I was planning on buying
a
second one, but I didn't know where to put it because I didn't know how good the coverage would be. Like I wanted to find the blind spots, and there kind of aren't any.
Other than this room.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still high enough that it's like it's.
Well, obviously, if we're doing this on the Wi-Fi network, we have no issues here. So,
I mean, if I wanted to, like, I don't know, go to my Plex server and stuff like that, it still would be fine. But if I really wanted to, like, upload to YouTube, like big files, right, like quick, it would take longer than it would wired. But like, okay. Instead of something taking 3 minutes for like a YouTube video, it would take, I don't know, 8, 9. Like, okay. Not too bad. Not worried.
Gerald has something to say. Sorry to late to view. My BeoTalk 20 has connection problems since 3rd. I don't know what, like March 3rd. BNO say I have too many things on the network and control, but no sound. Works today on Wi-Fi, 8 speakers on Wi-Fi, 3 IoT, and 6 Wi-Fi speakers. Wow, like I said, question is, what do you have for the router? And if you rewind through the document, I'll upload that document onto Discord so you guys can go through and just read through it and just disable all the network BeoLink discovery nonsense in your app. Which, if anybody wonders where that is, oopsie, let's turn on the Windows deal. All apps. I'll share my screen and show it because
I'll put it in documentation right now.
Okay, yeah, do that. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. I've lost my Windows thing.
For the people that haven't joined the Discord. I mean, for the time being, I don't foresee needing to change much of anything on my network because, like, when am I realistically going to go over gigabit internet? They're rolling it out now, but, like, I don't really see the need for it. like if I'm not throttled, if there's no weird network shaping that they do on the ISP side, like gigabit internet, if you get the full speed, like it's so much. Like
It's enough.
Well, I don't often have times where, like, when was the last time you need to, like, move, I don't know,
terabytes,
10 15 gigabit files to some other place, right? External from your home. And when was it critical that it happened in, I don't know, 5 minutes instead of 10?
No, that's in the movies when you're dumping files off of Pentagon into a USB stick that is remotely outside in a pedo van. But no.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't come across it. Like, if I consume, I think the heaviest that I ever stress my network would be when I watch Plex movies in my bedroom, because they're 4K and it's going Wi-Fi from the computer to the Roku player.
Yeah.
But that's it.
So yeah, I mean, they're currently rolling out what is it, 7 gig symmetrical here, and it's like, what am I meant to do with that? Like, that's so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, also, why would I want to pay $300 for just internet? We're at the point, right, like where your internet is faster than your hard drives. Because there's no way spinning Rust can do 7 gigabits. Like,
no fucking way, man.
Like, I don't have terabytes of SSD storage. That's like it.
No. All that is on my portable passport. So whatever that pushes through the USB is exactly the top. We got some questions.
Well, Lawrence, I'm not in the. I'm not going to buy the Dream Wall anytime soon. By the time I may revisit it, it's probably out of date anyway.
Maybe they'll have something different. Hakan says, hello, Bang & Olufsen speakers, and have a great movie and music experience. But I want to ask because I don't know. Are all the products compatible with each other? Yes. 2 BLF50s as main, or a pair of main 50s as main, theaters as center, 428 surround speakers, and 4 or 6 10-inch Celestial. I don't think you need to go with 6. I think 4 is more than enough, because that's pretty much like you are at the cap of what B&O or the Atmos, really licensed Atmos is. So you don't need to do more. And they're all compatible. You just need to make sure that you enter the correct speaker in the theater's connected speakers once you do the PowerLink assignment. All the WISA stuff or DPL will automatically assign itself because it knows by the address, but those Celestials running off of the BO-Amp2s will not know, the theater will not know what they are. And also you need to assign them as height speaker roles. That's about it. But I don't think you should worry about that. That's going to sound unfucking believable, in my opinion, as far as
that shit's going to be retarded in a good way.
Yeah. I hope you don't have many neighbors, bro. But if you do, then, get some orders ready, because you're going to meet them.
If you care for money, I would almost. If you care for money or ease of installation, I would almost say potentially consider yes on the 50s, yes on the theater, and then change everything else for 8s.
You save money, and in my opinion, it's gonna be just as good.
It's easier to install. There's way less wires if wiring becomes problematic because of, I don't know, solid ceilings or long cable runs or that sort of thing. Like, labor-wise, it's way cheaper. It'll sound similar, if not better.
Labor and logistic-wise, definitely, because whatever your ceiling is made out of, and is there access above it, right? And if you cut a hole into the wall, like, I understand that some of those Celestials don't really need the back box, but I always would recommend the back box, because then it's still controlled.
Yes.
And
especially if it's into an open space like I have here, like, back box is absolutely needed. Well, needed. They sound so much better with than without.
They don't vent into your roof.
Yeah.
So, and I would, you know what, if you are hell bent on running the cables, then you might as well just run the power link cables into the speakers up above and have them hardwired, so you don't have to worry about DPL or trying to reset them when it's inconvenient height.
Yeah, but you also don't have to hide your BOM2, right?
That's another thing, and you need two of them.
Yeah. So it's just you run for the height H, you run two Ethernet cables, which is a heck of a lot easier than, was it 4 of the by-wire things into an amp that then go from that into Ethernet cables to the back, and that box you have to hide somewhere.
Plus, I
just a suggestion. I'm not saying your idea is bad or anything.
Have to do it, but if you like the look of the Celestials, all the power to you. But if I were to do that with this budget, I would definitely swap the 28s for the
8s.
For the 8s.
Everywhere, like also on the ceiling.
Ceiling heights, ceiling front and rear heights, and just full surround. So what is it?
2, 4, 6, 8s.
Yeah. So what? Yeah, 4 pairs of 8s basically instead. I would definitely go with that.
It would be 8 pairs of 8.
Or 8 pairs of 8s. Yeah. Sorry.
No. Yeah, 8 8s. Yeah, sorry.
8 8s, 4 pairs of 8s.
Yeah.
Not that much.
Also, you're going to have much more in terms of like optimizing for theater sound.
The control is much better, I think, with the 8s than the Celestials ever will be.
Not just that, right? Like part of the optimizing for optimal theater sound is having the same speaker everywhere.
Yes.
So with more of the same speaker, you'll have more of the same sound signature everywhere. And I like Celestials, don't get me wrong, but I would almost say like either go all Celestial or go all 8s.
I think that 8s would have more power and performance and presence than the Celestials ever get.
Yeah.
100%.
And it's just a physical limitation of what they are.
Yes.
Granted, look, if you have a missus that has to agree to this, I can fully see why you would go Celestials, because they're way less in your face, right? They're almost flat with the ceiling.
Yeah, but the 8s are a piece of art, man. They're still beautiful to look at no matter what, especially on the ceiling brackets. I think they're sexy.
Yeah.
Very sexy.
I mean, Hakan, I almost did something similar. I have 4 50s and then 6 17s. So
he's not making it up.
So I'm in a similar boat.
But yeah.
KM had a question earlier where like, what were you buying again? Like you were gonna go 8s for your theater and then something in the back, or 4 8s and then something up top like 17s, and the missus said no, but she does like 4000s. If they're just surround heights, you're fine with 4. Are you losing performance? Yes, but get the Mark II 4000s for sure. They're just better than the Mark I 4000s.
Yeah.
The 17s are very, very good, but generally most people don't need that much power from a surround height position. But I can't judge that for you. It's a preference.
That is. Me, from the serviceability standpoint, I would choose the 17s over the 4000s, because now, knowing what it is and how much of a headache it is with the amps, if they blow on your speaker, I can't fix them. The only way we can fix them is to send them to Denmark. You don't see your speaker for a few months, more or less.
Yeah, but they're like €400 in Europe.
And yeah, so we're not talking American money, I guess, because here everything is outrageous compared to Europe.
So like 4000s in Europe are like €400 or something like that. So you just buy new ones if they blow, or new ones. Like
I guess so. Yeah, if you live in the Hive, then you definitely you can buy some 4000s. I would even buy a spare set just to have. But 4,000 is not a bad speaker, and for the heights, doesn't matter, dude. They'll do just as fine. They'll do
Yeah,
just as fine. Hey, Craig.
I'm looking now, and like they're between, like, the high end seems to be 425 euro, and the lower end is like 250 for 4,000 in Europe, or in the Netherlands at least.
Well, he's in Denmark, so yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah,
more
it's
or less
going to
the
be
same cash.
similar, if not cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean, the 4,000s are very pretty. They're just not as powerful. But, like, how much bass do you want from above? I can't really tell you that. But there will definitely be effects from above. It's not like they're that anemic.
No. I think they're just as fine. Frick, I have the lap fours in the bedroom, right, with
Mm-hmm.
the old Avant. And those speakers, I'm surprised how well they shine when that little. Well, it's not a big room, but it's. I can't say I never had a surround system in my bedroom because I did, but it was ridiculous because I had a BeoVision 465 with 8,000s on the wall and 4,000s in the back, and that's a different animal. But like from the compact standpoint of having a Avant 55 with a 19 and a pair of fours in the back, the movies are pretty stomachable in the bedroom, I gotta say. But now the recent bug pisses me off, man, that the Netflix is in 2.0 PCM on the Plex, and I can't
Can't
change
you
it.
let's get a Fire Stick? Problem solved.
I have an Apple TV, but the problem is that you need to put the Apple TV behind the TV and glue on the puck flasher, and I have it on the STB bracket, so it's my back is not good right now, so I can't lift the TV. A, B, I need to order. I found this crazy ass Amazon power cord where it's a female figure eight to it advise out into two female figure eights
Yeah.
males. So I can plug in the Avant and I can do one on the Apple TV basically. Like it was made for that, for God's sakes. So I'm gonna get that, and on Amazon once that shows up, I will install it, and yeah, because I the Plex, not the Plex, the Roku player. It's only like $40, but it doesn't make sense that all the movies are in 2.0 PCM, but when I watch the movies that I have on the hard drive, they're in full surround. YouTube is in full surround, for God's sakes. Like if you go to YouTube movies, but the Netflix, Apple Music or Apple TV, I guess, because my girlfriend installed it on there. So the Apple videos or Apple movies are good, but for some reason the Netflix is fucked and the Plex. But maybe the Plex, the shows that I've chosen, maybe not all the shows are in stereo. I mean in surround.
Yeah, maybe.
For the
It also
because I
seems
don't have
like
a paid account for Flex, so maybe it's just to choke off that if you don't have
it could
paid
also
account,
just be a Roku thing where they, like, the
yeah,
update,
licensing.
or it just mess something up in an update, right? Where, like, oh, we
Man, I've
don't see the
reset the
correct.
factory.
Yeah, but on the back end where they upload the apps, right, as the manufacturer of the app, where something says, this license has an extra one that I don't recognize, so therefore stereo.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's
Yeah,
just weird. It's frustrating. So, but it works perfectly on the panel on the LG.
because Plex is quite agnostic. Like, it doesn't really care. Even if you don't pay for it, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way Plex is set up, it's more like, I think it's almost a charity, or in one of those 501c somethings, where,
Okay.
like, if you pay for it, it's not so much a subscription, it's almost more like a donation.
Mm-hmm.
It's, but I could be slightly wrong. But, like, other than live TV and DVRing, Plex doesn't require you to pay. And by live TV, I mean you get signal out of the air, transform it into Plex that it can, because it's still, you still get live TV on whatever channel wants to be on Plex.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, all the TV is now internet TV because there's no more I don't see any more. We don't put any coax really. Like there are people with the old boxes that they have to keep because of the old BeoVision 7 or whatever. That good luck trying to flash the software on it on or updating the pucks. That's too risky now. Too risky.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the remote playing Plex, you have to pay for remote playing, Lawrence says. But yeah, I don't utilize that. I don't fuck. I'm glad that I have time to watch Plex to begin with when I go to bed. Let alone the fact that I would have time to do it remotely anywhere.
Yeah, but by remote they mean outside of your network, right? Like
That's
if
what I'm
you have
saying.
your computer on and you go to your missus and try to watch off
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
server there. But remote in your own network, it's fine. It's free.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Plex for that. It's easy. It works.
It works. Picture's good on it. Quality's good. I have no complaints whatsoever. I like it.
I mean,
I really do.
I generally set the settings to like make my. It's literally called make my CPU hurt. For like maximum like speed on the client side and
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
so it's yeah it works. It's great.
Yeah, I have it down one notch before then make my CPU hurt, whatever that setting is high, I think, or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. No issues so far, I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, if you're ever in Florida, anybody, let me know. You can see the demo through Plex and tell me what you think. So far, everybody else has been like, "Wow."
Well, how can you not be, man? It's a insane setup. Insane setup.
Some was it What Hi-Fi or something?
Hmm.
Somebody on there uploaded a 250 gigabyte demo file folder, which I got.
Wow.
And that's excellent. It has like 3 minutes of like Bohemian Rhapsody and Saving Private Ryan in the Atmos render, Baby
That
Driver.
is what I use for testing. That thing is insane.
Yes,
The opening scene in Dolby Atmos Saving Private Ryan is absolute experience.
yeah, it's a thing.
That
Especially
one
the
will let you
beach
know how.
scene.
Oh yeah, that's just. It will definitely show off the fullest capability there is in the system. When those fucking bombs go off or shit flies overhead, oh my god, very very good, very good demo.
Yeah, so God, what else is in there? Quite a bit, but it's like 250 gigs of like just demo files, including music and Atmos,
Hmm.
and it's a lot, but it's great.
That's a fat chunky USB stick.
Oh, it sits on my Plex server now, right?
Hmm.
Like
But
in
yeah, to have that would be cool to have. Just plug it into the panel when you finish the job, right, and just
yeah,
blow the client's mind, basically.
yeah. With Plex, you can buy a lifetime pass and you're good. Yeah, correct. It's like $110 or something for a lifetime pass.
Is it? That's
Yeah,
not bad.
no,
That's
it's
not bad at all.
uh uh.
It's so nice and sunny, and it's -3 for God's sakes. It was 18 the other week. Actually, it was 18 on Thursday. Thursday, yeah. I had a cigar with Nathan. It was Thursday. It was nice, and it snowed yesterday. For God's sakes, don't like it.
Uh, Go Plex Premium. Yeah, it's 120 USD.
For life,
Yeah,
that's not bad at all.
no, and you're supporting stuff, so that's good.
That like Plex has been around for man at least 10 years that I remember, if not more.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I remember my buddies when I was still working in the Calgary store when I first started with BNO. My buddy had a Plex player, and he was also ported through the Yin Yang, right? Because he was one of the guys that was an Uber nerd. He was the one that actually discovered you can tweet into the Masterlink gateway to trigger commands from it
Back when you could, yeah.
back when you could.
That's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, dude. It was pretty funny.
God, like the current. I don't want to call it AI because it's not, but the large language models and stuff. It's very clever, but sometimes it's also ridiculously stupid if you give it a command of dropping all pretense. If you know what it is, right? You can make it tell you so many things, like how do you make an explosive device that's not legal?
What are you talking about? Sorry, I was reading the comment.
The AI / large language models that are going on.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow! On the 29th of April, Plex lifetime increases to $250.
So get yours in. Maybe I'll just get mine tonight. God, this. Thanks, bud. I appreciate that, Christian. I'm gonna do that.
Ziga asks, do you guys think it would be possible for Beolab 100 to have even more performance than the no compromise Beolab 90? It's possible. Yes. Do I think
everything's possible? No, I don't think so.
Look, it depends on how you measure performance, right? Because you can make the room correction algorithms better. You can say the speaker can be bigger, therefore you can build more pressures. Do you need more pressures? No, but if more is better, then you can definitely do that. Personally, I would
go below 90s performance, something between the 50s and the 90s.
Well, to me, if they were to make a Beolab 100, right, where I would be almost more impressed in making a larger speaker do more volume, is like if they could somehow have the same performance in a smaller package.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where like the sort of
the tech really shines.
Yeah. Because the 90s are huge already. And you can, like, I've shown them before, like the avant-garde speakers, right, with the giant horns. And then you have the bass bit, which is literally the size of a closet.
Mm-hmm.
As in, literally, it's like this high up on the wall.
It's a fucking room, dude.
From speaker to speaker, right? Like, and that's just your bass bit.
Oh, I just... But yeah, that's that's all speculation. And quite honestly, we only have a few more months to go before the 100. So whatever it is, I don't know. It's good to speculate, but usually they announce the product in October, November, and I think that they're just gonna hold off to all the big stuff for November 17th when the time clocks and strikes 100th anniversary. But to me, I think it's useless to speculate which speaker's going to be, better or worse or what they're going to make. I definitely hope they're going to make something even before the 100th anniversary, because I think they're overdue for a new product a little bit. The last thing we've seen was Beolab 8s, and now we're just doing the colors and Atelier, and there's really not much that is exciting, that is new, that's coming. Like, there should be a replacement, in my opinion. If they're debating or moving to the Mozart platform, there should be a subwoofer. There should be definitely a subwoofer that comes out playing along with the 28 and 8s, something that is Mozart pairable. I think they should have something along those lines introduced for sure.
Yes.
Because I would love the 19, that. The 19 on its own it's a great sub, but you're kind of fucked when you're trying to do it with the pair of 8s, because then you get into the core and the transmitter, and they're on the WiSA, so the 8s don't sound the best that they could, more or less, right? Because it's the transmitter that crosses over at 120 hertz, and that's the end of that.
I would also not mind if they made whatever sub more powerful, right? If they went the 10
then inch. The 19?
Yeah, then if they went like a 10-inch or 12-inch driver round way.
I think they're going to go something to a size of a Beolab 11, dude, but more power. I think they're going to go the other way.
Because with God, if you have like a sub that has like similar build, right, 10 inches on either side, you with 8 you can, or with 28 you can get closer to 50s.
Oh, 100%. But I think they're using the guitar string theory where you have when you have a theater, right? That you would most likely place whatever, the Beolab subwoofer would it be. I don't even want to speculate on the name of it or a number, but you would probably end up putting in the rear as a suggested, because it would probably have the same power and performance than the front two subs in the theater. At
Yeah.
least it has to have that, at least. Which makes me to conclude that if that's where it would go, it would be the size, maybe a little bit than a Beolab 11, not as big as 19.
Yeah. Speaking of similar things, I I do think it would be a good thing to have a new flagship, because the current one is a decade old, which is not that old for B&O, but the pricing strategy is insane, right? Like make a
Yes.
new flagship that is whatever, but like extreme money. Cool. Go for that. But in the terms of reality, I would almost like an updated stage where like you're limited to like adding 2 8s as rears or 28s or whatever, but like just
Mhm.
on a digital power link or even wire, it doesn't really matter. I would absolutely kill for that.
Yeah, but I think, well, currently, like if we're looking at it from a portfolio, realistically from their portfolio, they do have to replace the subwoofer.
But they also have to replace the stage, because that's
Yes,
2017, so that's 8 years old and it's limited. But by doing so, you can also save the contour.
100%. But then
And
again, I don't think the shape factor would be the same. And yeah, Steve has a video that you can do that with the current stage. But that's 7 years too late, bro. And B, in my opinion, if you are in an environment with a Mozart platform, it's much seamless together, where you don't have an ASC or ASC2 product. Like I have the Beosound 1, and it takes a lot longer to connect to it through the Halo remote than comparatively to the Emerge or the Level or the Theater. And but a, a non in or insignificant complaint, rather. It all works, and I think now there's a 6.0 update for the ASC products or ASC2 products. So like the stage, I think the title is now as a source button in there. It's there. I don't know if you've updated yours or not.
yeah, I haven't seen it, but I also don't use Tidal yet. So
Neither do I. I've moved away from it a few weeks back, so I'm back to uh, Deezer Flow or Deezer on its own. It works. I don't know. Deezer's been around. It's rooted much deeper into the BNO's app than the title is, and
yes, still.
I've tried them both. So it's not to criticize one or the other. Is there a bigger difference between title versus the teaser? On the 90s, you can tell. On the rest of the stuff in my house, I could give two shits less, really. So, and I don't really get to listen to the
Look, if you
music much.
really want the highest end music listening experience, you have to have the files local anyway.
Yeah.
Like you can do this through Plex even.
Hmm.
Like yes, your screen will be on, so the experience is slightly different, but like there will be no
Yeah, but you can
limiting.
turn it off in the menu, because I think it allows it once you have a music playing in
Yeah.
the app, that you can do screen off on your LG panel.
I mean, I currently have something like 15 or 20 albums on Plex. It comes with the album art and everything. And
Hmm.
like, holy shit, the quality is noticeable, right?
It is much better.
And I'm not saying Deezer is bad. It's still my predominant source of music. But if I really cared for that last bit of precision, it has to be like local in a file somewhere.
Hmm.
Because even the like if it's not in a digital media file, if you have to stream it, you're still like weirdly dependent on things.
So Ziga says, why do you guys not use a server to store music and connect to the Bang & Olufsen app? Because the music I listen to really doesn't exist, or not that it doesn't exist to download. I just don't care for downloading it. And all the music that I have that's old, quote unquote, or that I have on the hard drive, if I want to listen to it, I do connect it and I do listen to it through Plex, but I don't care. I really don't. I moved on to the point where I just, you know what, for the amount of tunes now that I listen to, it really is a non-issue for me. Okay, so someone in Denmark heard rumors about 2 months ago that a stage will be the stage with the ability to add speakers, but don't know how trustworthy the source is. I think if they're gonna go out with the stage, I think they're gonna have to redesign it to begin with, because I don't think it's a good idea to do a stage Mark II with the Mozart platform in it, because then it becomes very confusing versus who's who at the zoo.
It doesn't fit in the back anyway.
And that's another thing. But if they were to redo it, I hope that if they do it naked or grill-less and frame-less, that it still fits into the contour.
I have every expectation that if they were to do a new stage, that it's smaller and potentially angled more outwards, like the side speakers. And the reason I say that is that more and more people will ask for contours in like the 42-inch version, maybe.
Yeah,
because a lot 48. A lot of people are asking for the smaller C panel for bedrooms and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you have 48 and 42 now. And I think the smallest you can go is 48 with this current stage.
Yes.
So, I mean, similar people are asking for kitchen TVs.
Yeah, those kind of went by the wayside now, hey? It used to be that you could buy a little 26-inch screen and throw it into the on a backsplash or whatever.
That's the thing, right? Like, those sizes are computer monitors now.
Mm-hmm.
Like the smallest TV you could get for like 7, maybe 8 years was 55 inches.
Wouldn't be a bad idea to just mount a computer monitor on the wall, because you have HDMI inputs to it, right? I don't know if you can control it through the ARC, but that'd be cool if you could. And just run it through a, let's say, BeoConnect core into the in-ceiling speakers or something that you have around. But that would be an option, I guess. But yeah, we don't really do small TVs, but yeah, it's true. There's not many you can put in the kitchens anymore, or bathrooms like we've had back in the day. People were putting that stuff in.
Some people still do, yeah.
No.
I don't understand it, but sure.
I guess if you have a bath, it's nice to look at something or watch a movie, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a need to put a TV in the bathroom, but the bedroom I now understand. Maybe if I put a TV in the bathroom, I'll also understand. Put it right in front of the bloody toilet bowl, so you can just sit on a throne and watch. So, what are you looking for? TV in the shower. I have not seen that, but I had clients that had speakers directly in the shower stall. Canton, small little cubes, outdoor ones.
I just want to know if we're shower or bath people.
I'll go equal. I'm gonna be the guy.
You actually take baths?
Oh yeah, dude. Epsom salts and all this shit helps with my back a lot. I still have a shower after it, but I have a bath. Yeah, I sit in the water. I like to make my own soup.
Another thing I really hope for is a new Beo remote. I mean, it's goddamn time for that.
I very much agree with that. I think enough is enough with that non-backlit nonsense.
Oh, that's another thing. Steve says one benefit of the stage working with other speakers is that the same delay box lets you play Mozart speakers in sync with passive ceiling speakers. I guess that's if you run it off an AVR, which is kind of nice. Because the current crop of speakers, the 28, the 8, all the Mozart stuff, it's almost not a Beolab, right? Like it's almost more Beosound. It's there's almost no distinction other than the connection ports, but the digital power link has now more or less made it so that it doesn't matter either. So
and the most functionality you can utilize out of those speakers is when you do them DPL, because then they become your my buttons and a volume controller and like, I guess a very rudimentary remote control on top of the speaker. So if you have one close to the couch, when you come by it, right, you can just do things and use them.
Yeah, people should go to Steve's shop and order these cables and their things if you want to tinker with this.
Mm-hmm.
Go buy stuff. See? Hi, Steve. Hello, Steve. Let's see. Is your stuff updated yet?
Who's mine? I don't have any.
No, Steve's. If the new cables are on the website yet. Where are we looking for this? They probably are somewhere, but everything's custom. I must say, like, this is not because he's a personal friend, but like these cables are extremely high quality.
Yeah, they are.
I think Steve does sell outside of the UK, but only for Europe right now. God, Steve, we gotta have to set up like a distribution system or something. Because
I think so.
Us North American folk feel left out. God, like ship me a pallet or something, I'll distribute it to people.
Yeah, it's weird that that's the issue.
Well, look, especially with these latest changes in imports and that sort of thing, right? Like everything
it's a headache.
Well, there's just so much paperwork you need to do. I mean, I paid more import tax on my Beosound A5 than I did on my 50s because the battery in it was made in China.
Oh.
Even though I didn't buy it from China, I bought it in the Netherlands, right? But the battery inside of it came from China. And even though you already paid for it, somehow you still have to pay for it again. And it's like and especially with like Steve's business, where it's like individual orders, right? That cuts so much into your daily time. You might as well hire somebody to just do North American shipping. I mean, I do think you can go to like drop shipping, like where like you order from Steve, send it to a drop shipper, and they'll send it to you.
Mm-hmm.
But it's effectively the fee he would have to ask you anyway.
But is it much more of a headache to ship it? It shouldn't be a headache to ship to Canada then. We're a common law, whatever the heck we are. Apparently, we're joining the European Union based on what the nonsense is going on politically here. So,
I mean, I don't exactly know, but like from what we learned from the tariff bits, where like Canada tariffs the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah, it does.
Was it like Canada has like a 300% tariffs on eggs from here? Like, and I don't know if like, do the British even send eggs to compare it? Like, I don't know, but like,
I guess not.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was also a tariff, right, on British ham or whatever.
Spam.
God knows. Yeah, it's, and then you get into the like the Canadian postal system, right?
Yeah, which works now.
Well, yeah, sort of, but
For now.
How well does it work when you lose something, and who do you claim? And like, I understand as a smaller company.
Knock
like
on
this,
wood, I haven't had an issue with that yet, but I haven't. Well, I don't really use Canada Post to ship internationally.
but
But
this is the sort of post-Nord situation, right? Where like they absolutely break something, and then 2 years later it's resolved.
Mm.
Like that's like as a consideration for a business from Europe coming to here. Like that's something like, do you want to deal with that?
Fair.
Like I understand, but like Steve said, like he can ship to drop shippers, and then the responsibilities between you and the drop shipper,
Yes,
which
that
makes
makes more
sense.
sense. Yeah, that makes way more sense in my opinion too.
I mean, unless we I almost feel like I should put up a poll. Like, should Steve start child labor through his children for American shipping?
Oh, I don't think the girls care for his cables much, man. But yeah, it sucks that that the shipping is so complicated. I also don't understand that to ship, if I buy something from STB or we buy something from STB in the store, it's order on Monday. It usually is here Thursday, Friday, the same week. But if I ship something express from here, from Canada to UK, it's a week and a half.
Yeah.
It's never the same. It's weird. Like, why? I guess if the Earth was flat, then it wouldn't rotate counterclockwise when we're flying your shit back to you, or what? Because I don't understand where the delay comes from.
Import, or what is it, customs and stuff like that. I think also Canada, in that sense, is somehow weirdly tied to America because America kind of sets rules for Canada in that sense in what comes to the continent.
Going against the trade winds, exactly.
I mean, similarly, right? Like our shipping prices here are insane compared to Europe. Like I shipped my cousin or my niece a stuffed animal that was in kilos, like 1.2 kilos or something, and I made it into like vacuum sealed it. It was like this. It was like
it'll never look the same again.
It was fine. But sending that, the cheapest I could do was through USPS, was $55, which is insane. The second cheapest I could do it was with UPS, and they said that they were cheaper than DHL because they could do it for $275.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, and I checked, and was it DHL indeed asked 300.
How far is it? Like in miles or kilometers? How far would it have been? It's not across the country.
No, it's from here to Amsterdam.
Oh fuck! Yeah. That's you're gonna get hosed.
Yeah, but the thing is, from Amsterdam to here in the Netherlands, right? Like that shipping was like €22.
Because they're going with the rotational spin, so it's faster.
Yeah, but that makes no sense. That it's more than double, right? At the cheapest.
You know how much horsepower more they need to go against the current flow and rotation of the Earth to bring into the Europe, man?
I mean, you would think, right? Like in winter, the wind literally blows to Europe. So the plane
it's
would
cold wind, so
yeah,
they
but
don't have much solar.
If you travel, if you travel a lot, you absolutely will know this because your flight from Europe to America will take shorter in summer than in winter. Because I've done this so often that in winter it can literally shave like an hour and a bit off.
Interesting.
Just riding the winds in a regular old plane.
Yeah. So, but there you go.
So it's yeah, and then here for some reason the clipboard mafia at the border is insane.
Yeah, it's not a fun.
But
It's
it's
not a joke.
only insane, right, for stuff from Europe. Because if you order from Temu, they don't have any what you call it? They don't have to fill out any paperwork for customs.
No, because it just all comes loaded in a container of shit, and then they
No,
just
no,
dump it out. And...
up to like a month or so ago, they had an exemption. Like
Oh,
all,
really?
like they just said like this computer case. That's it. That's all they ever wrote on it, and the U.S. Customs just went, well, there's a China exception. It's fine.
No, nice. So now it's gonna change,
I mean, you
or it has already.
because you could literally buy on Temu like these health pens, right? And there was like sort of like bits of depleted uranium in there. And that just came
Why
through
not?
customs and like the Temu exception, and it was fine. It's like,
Wow.
like
Yeah, no. And here I'm trying to import fucking box of cigars from US, and it's
yeah,
I get 300% tax almost on it. So
like
no.
I care in the sense that like why can't this be like either have it all be the same or why does one have an exception and the other doesn't? And especially for like the US, right? Like why is Europe like slowed down and like bogged down in bloody paperwork and stuff?
Hmm.
I mean, coming here, I've had to fill out so many forms, and almost all of it was for our stuff that we already owned for years. Like you had to itemize like a chair, approximately built in this year with these materials, and it's like, oh my god. I mean,
Yeah, because they want to know everything that you bring it in, I guess.
yeah, but in the end, it's weird, right? Because sometimes they check it and sometimes they don't.
I guess I'm lucky because all the Herman Miller stuff I bought is imported from US, so and made in US.
I mean, essentially, we couldn't bring any wine because the wine wasn't USDA approved.
Did you bring it?
No, we
You
didn't have
drank all
that.
of it?
No, I gave it away and whatever. It's not, but
That's
essentially,
weird though.
if checked, what they could do is like take samples to see if the wine was USDA approved. It's like, oh my god.
So you're gonna cork all my wines just to tell me that I'm okay, but now they're fucked.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. What school did you go for that to? Oh my god. Yeah, I know that's not fun. I'm glad that I don't have to worry about moving, but you never know.
I mean, moving within the country is not so bad. Obviously,
Well, fuck. But then again, moving within the country is different said here than in Europe, because if let's say I move across a country, that's 4,500 goddamn kilometers in a 10 grand bill, right? If I move across the country, let's say where I'm from in Slovakia, which the whole fucking thing is 550 kilometers, and I'm being nice to it across, right? You can like basically load up, get to another where you're supposed to be living, and unload in the same day. Ain't happening over here. So yeah, it's a different story.
yeah, it's it's a thing.
But no, I don't know.
Yes, we're mostly shower people.
Right on. No,
I
I'm mostly.
I knew you
but I'm
guys
gonna
are good
say,
people in chat, or
I'd say
mostly.
5 people baths are gross. Well, every now and then you gotta don't do it after you wash your dog. Do it the other way. But yeah, I don't know, man. Put it this way: if Alberta becomes the U.S., I'm moving back home that week. Fucking packing it up.
Well, you could just keep living in Alberta because, like, the oil money is going to come back like instantly, right?
Yeah. No, it's gonna get good quick.
Because all the people you lost as B&O customers due to the lack of selling of oil will instantly back.
Yeah, the oil industry really took a big hit. Pretty much a month before my accident, because it was April when the forest fire started, and it basically burned down 1/3 of the Fort McMurray, which was most of the residences where all the oil workers used to live. And then not many returned after that. And then the clown got in power and shut the pipes down and everything else. And then it was just a long 9-year tumble down the cliff till we are finally hit the bottom. Well, we're almost at the bottom. Not there yet. Not there yet, guys.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Good.
Yeah.
You can buy some green BeoLab per 1,000 for €400 in the Netherlands.
Yeah, no.
I looks wise, I think the 4000s are very, very pretty.
They're a nice speaker, and that color specifically, it's like that new forest green or whatever the heck in the Atelier edition. Very close to it, you know. But the floor stands are on sale. Hey, those are hard to come by nowadays, definitely.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, I like them because even back then that, it wasn't really spoken about, but the modularity was there. If let's say you moved and you wanted to spend extra money on it, you could turn them from silver to black or gold or red or blue just by ordering the side panels and the front.
Yeah, so and if you want to make them wood, you can call Leo because he laminated one in oak before.
That looked good too.
Leo's gone wild on Instagram and on Discord.
Yeah.
God, these are almost mint still.
Yeah, that's a hard one to come by. Hard one to come by.
This looks like it's in a dealership.
But they were smart speakers, though, how they were designed, especially with the back bracket that you could angle them exactly the way you wanted them and so on. The only place that I hated installing them was a center channel. Remember back in the plasma days with the BeoLab 4000 as a center speaker, both of them together?
It looks weird.
Those were hard. It looked weird, but that was the only solution they had, and it was probably one of the toughest one to really properly install it, because if you're off by 1 millimeter, that line is gone, bro. Back to your fridge conversation before we went on it.
Yeah.
So and you'll never unsee it. These are terrible. Burgundy. God,
I wonder, does Eric still has his in gold?
Probably.
Because they were really funky in these days with the colors they offered. Because you could get the Lab 1s in these colors as well, right?
I know, man. What a regret you would have nowadays, right? Because they definitely outlived the idea of how cool that color was.
Hi, Raslaw. I think he has the ones in that color.
Yeah, I just you got to have an 80s room or 90s room around it, basically, just to kind of match the decor. Yeah, these are definitely wild color. But on the wild side of that note.
Yeah, good stuff. Thank you, everybody, for watching and calling it for this week. Hope you all have a good time, and we'll see you most likely next weekend. And,
you bet.
Have fun.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.